Hey there guys and welcome back. I got a budget deck for you guys today. The Novril Gwent made. So really good job Novril Gwent making a pretty competitive budget deck, which I mean I highly doubt he'll see this, but still good job because budget decks are great for the community. Gives the newer players something to go to, especially with all the Smurfs running around in the lower ranks. And if they face too many of them and can't even pull off like single round win, then to get the new cards, they'll probably quit the game. So having budget decks like these, they're actually really good. It's a really good thing for the game. Get into deck profile in a minute, but if you like, just like and subscribe and go into it. Well, first I wanted to say about what we got in this deck that's actually from the starter deck. So we got two Wild Hunt Hounds, they're both in the starter deck. Two Wild Hunt Warriors, they're from the starter deck. One of these Arc Griffins you start with, all the golds are actually golds that you start with. So that's a lot of scraps right there that you're saving. That's 3,200 scraps that you don't have to spend towards this deck. And a lot of the rares and commons, like even these Wild Hunt Navigators, you start with two of these. And two of these Biting Frosts you start with. So I mean, really out of the commons and rares, you just gotta craft one Biting Frost, three Drowners, an Arc Griffin, and a Wild Hunt Hound. That's not too bad at all. The silvers is mostly where you get hurt because none of these are starter silvers. But a lot of these silvers are cards that are good in like other decks, not just monsters. Such as Marigold Tailstorm, one of the most meta cards right now in the silvers that I think at least neutral. This card is ran in basically every deck if you can fit it, just because it's such a powerhouse with how much it can do. Then we got the White Frost. This is in a few different types of decks. Not as many, but still a couple. Iris is really good. I think she'll be played more and more in other decks, which she's already, I've seen her in Queensguard deck and stuff already. So she's really good to have too. And then Doran Gary. The Doran Gary's ran in a ton of decks. Just because his three choices are really nice, mostly the Akimara and Drowner. But yeah, that's four of the silvers that you're crafting anyway. You can use in other decks even if you don't want to commit yourself to monsters. Only two silvers that are committed to monsters are your lock unit that you always want to run, and Jotun, which is in here because it's a weather deck and he can actually get a lot of value for you. But a little bit late, here's the actual deck profile. We got three Wild Hunt Hounds. Play a Biting Frost card from your deck. This will grab one of your Biting Frosts, which apply Frost to a row on your opponent's side. At the beginning of every turn of their turn, they're going to take 2 damage. Their lowest unit is going to take 2 damage. Now, this Frost also interacts with a lot of the other cards in the deck, as you'll see. We got 2 Wild Hunt Warriors. Here's one of them. Damage an enemy by 3. If it was under Frost or destroyed, boost self by 2. So you don't have to kill something with 3 power anymore to get this guy to boost himself. If they're under Frost, you can just do 3 damage to them and boost him, which is really nice. Then we got 3 Drowners. Move a unit to this row on its side. If it's an enemy, damage it by 2. If the enemy is under weather after being moved, damage it by 4 instead. This guy lets you move cards back into your weather if they're trying to play around your weather, or allows you to set up for really nice marigolds. And since you're moving them into weather, it's going to do 4 damage, making it a 11 power card basically that allows you to move something. Movement's really important in the meta right now, I think. Then we got 2 Arc Griffins. Clear weather from the row on your side. Move a bronze card from one graveyard to the other. This card's not too bad. I mean, weather's sort of becoming more prevalent now. More and more decks are running mostly the gold weather cards that just cover your whole field in weather. So having 1 or 2 weather clear units, not too bad. And his secondary effect is actually pretty good too. Because if you're facing something like Skellige, you can say steal one of the important bronzes that they're trying to resurrect, like a Clan and Crate Greatsword or something. And also, if you're facing a fog deck, and most of them actually only run 1 Foglet right now, they might end up changing that up, since they can just pull it back from the graveyard anyway. You can actually steal their Foglet with an Arc Griffin when it dies, so that way they can't res it again, and that'll take away a decent amount of their power. Then we got Morvid. Your lock unit, this guy toggles the unit lock. If it's an enemy, damage it by half its power, rounding up and ignoring armor. Secondary effect's pretty good. Just because it's very rare that there's a deck that there's nothing you want to lock, but just in case it's a deck that nothing's worth locking, his secondary effect's still really good of taking away half the power, because you could target like a 20 power card and get 10 points of damage on him. You mostly want to hold on to him to unlock your Iris if you plan on playing her, just in case they lock her, but we'll get more into that later. We got Jotun next. Move 3 enemies to this row on their side and damage them by 2. If that row is affected by frost, damage them by 3 instead. Got a lot of frost in here. We got 5 frosts altogether. So moving things into a row with frost, unless they're running heavy weather clear, not too hard. Making him a 15 value silver that allows you to move 3 cards. So Jotun's really good. Then we got Triss Marigold, one of the starter golds. Damage a unit by 5. You can just use this to ping something. It's another ping card. This card has a lot of pinging cards, which is why Iris is nice in it. Because you could even use Triss Marigold to ping off your Iris and kill her, which is really important to kill her to get her effect going. Then we got Imlerith. Damage an enemy by 4. If the enemy is under frost, damage it by 8 instead. So if you hit something that's worth 8 value and it's under frost, you're going to get 17. This is going to be basically a 17 power gold, which is really high up there for golds that don't have a downside, at least, because you got things like Tibber, but he lets your opponent draw a card to become a 23 power. So this card, really good, especially if you ping something that's 8 or higher power that's under frost. Geralt, another one of the starter golds, no ability, just 13 power powerhouse. I mean, he's probably the first card you want to take out of this deck and replace with something like Corinther, if you actually want to go with a monster archetype, because Corinther lets you move a unit and spawn a frost on that row. But for a budget deck, Geralt's just fine. We got enough stuff in here where he doesn't matter as much. Then we got 2 Wild Hunt Navigators. Choose a different Bronze Wild Hunt ally, play a copy of it from your deck. Now, the only thing you can play a copy of it with this is Wild Hunt Warrior, if you only have one, or this pretty much guarantees you your Wild Hunt Hounds. Like, if you only draw 1 in your starting hand, you can use these guys to bring the other 2 out and cover their whole field in frost and thin out your deck a lot. Something you don't want to do against a mill type deck, but against other type decks, yeah, really good play. Then we got Dorgary. Spawn a Savage Bear, Wyvern, Ekimara, or Drowner. You're mostly going to be spawning the Drowner with this to get another Drowner, because Drowner's OP. Not really, he's just really good. But you could use Ekimara too, to gain resilience and consume an ally, giving you 6 carryover for the next round. You could even use him for a Savage Bear, if for a round 1 starter play, if you have nothing else to play. Because if you go first, this deck's very responsive. So going first, you don't have many cards to play. So you could just spawn out a Savage Bear, since round 1 usually goes out a while. And that'll give you a decent amount of pings and something to play round 1 at least, if you don't have Geralt or something in your hand. Then next we got the 3 Biting Frost. Already said what they do. You want to try to throw them back if they're in your starting hand. You don't want any of these in your starting hand, because you can pull them out with your Wild Hunt Hounds. So always mulligan these. Then we got Marigold's Hailstorm. Meta card right now. Damage all units on a row by half their power, rounding up and ignoring armor. Got a lot of movement in this deck. We got Jotun. We got 3, technically 4 Drowners. So you can usually set up a nice Marigolds. And if you cover 2 rows with Frost, they're most likely going to start playing all their cards in 1 row that's not frosted. So that'll pretty much set up that row for Marigolds. Some people just play inside your weather. Like Dwarfs, I've seen them, they usually play inside your weather, because then you can't move them around with your Drowner and stuff to do the damage unless you got another Frost out. But that's more advanced play. You probably won't see that if you're trying to use a budget deck. Then we got White Frost. Apply Frost to a row on your opponent's side and the row above it. Frost every turn, start your turn, damage lowest unit on the row by 2. This gives you 2 Frost on the field, and you don't want to play it if you've already played a Frost on the middle row, because you're going to be losing out a lot of value on it. You want to usually start off by playing Frost on the top or bottom row if you have White Frost, because then you can White Frost the other 2 rows and cover their whole field in Frost. Next, we got Royal Decree. Play a gold card from your deck. If it is a unit, boost it by 2, shuffle others back. This lets you filter out any of these other gold cards from your deck if you haven't drawn them all already, making a Drult a 15 power. Imlerith will actually become a 19 power gold, making him a pretty strong gold. And then you could grab the Triss Marigold too. It's pretty situational. If you got something under Frost, and Imlerith would be really good, you could just grab him out of your deck. Or if the Triss Marigold's good enough, you could just grab her instead, depending on how much of a swing or what the situation is on the field right then. And then we got Iris. Boost 5 random units on the other side of the board by 5. All you have to do is have 5 creatures on your side of the field, and this card, if you kill it, will give you 25 power, which is really strong, and we have plenty of ways to kill it off. We got 2 Wild Hunt Warriors. I mean, even if she's not under Frost, it'll kill her, so he'll also get his boost from destroying it. Then we got the Drowners. Now you have to move her into a weather slot to kill her with the Drowners, but still, you're running 5 Frost, so it shouldn't be that hard. We got the Jotun. If you move her into a weather with the Jotun, she'll take 3 damage and kill her. We got Triss and Imlerith, and these cards will kill her too, since they do pings. Dorigary spawns the Drowner that can kill her, and then even if you put her in Frost, she'll most likely die in 2 turns as long as they don't have a 1 power unit, because she'll take the damage after you play her, and then the next turn she'll take 2 more and kill her. So that's about it for the deck though. I know this deck profile was a bit longer. Probably leave timestamps, skip through this stuff, but we'll get in a couple games now, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we go, game 1. Looks like we're facing Self-Wounding Skellige. So maybe we'll get a Griffin or something. We got all 3 of our Wild Hunt Hounds. We got a Drowner, so we can kill off this Iris. Or we could use Triss Marigold to do that. We got the Royal Decree, so as long as we get one of his Great Swords under Frost, we could actually summon out Imlerith and kill one of them. So we'll get rid of this Biting Frost though, because we do not want them in our starting hand. Get rid of one of these Wild Hunt Hounds, just see what else we can get. We got an Imlerith. Well, that would be all of our golds. But I'll actually throw him back, I think. Nah, I'll keep him. We'll go with this. Now this deck counts on wounding their great swords and boosting them back up. Oh, he adds an Avalok, so we're going to draw one of our Biting Frosts and a Drult. Well, now Royal Decree is pretty much useless to us until the next round, because we're going to throw back one of our golds then. But we'll start off with a Wild Hunt Hound. Cast Frost on that row. Start doing damage to that Avalok. Oh, looks like he's going with Axemen. Well, we'll use the Drowner to kill off one of those Axemen, because those things can get pretty crazy if you don't kill them off. Oh, there's another Axeman. Well, we're going to kill that one too with our Drowner. Do not want to let any of those stay on the field, and we want him to waste off some of his Priests of Freya's.
We serve her who
yep, there's the Priest of Freya. He replays it. Oh, he's going to put it in the Frost though. So we'll use Triss Marigold here. Do 5 damage to him, kill him off again. Killed it 3 times. There's the Conjurer. So now We'll actually play our Wild Hunt Hound and frost up that row so we can kill her off the next round. With the Wild Hunt Warrior, we do not want to use the Immortalith if we don't have to. I think I'll let his Axeman stay out there one round. I'll kill off this Yennefer first. Just don't want her getting more value. That actually blocked her from hitting our Triss Marigold because this thing was a 9. So his Axeman didn't get the boost from it. We are pretty far ahead right now.
For the clan! For
Oh, there's the whale. You can do 1 damage there. Could use our Eredin right now. Do a lot of damage to that guy, but I don't want to yet. We're just going to use our Imlerith. Play it on either this bottom or middle row. Probably the bottom row. And we're going to kill off this Axeman again. All 3 Axemen. We've killed 4 Axemen now. Okay, he's got Priestess of Freya to revive it again. This time onto the back row. But I mean, it's not really going to be an issue. We're pretty far ahead. We're like 30 something points ahead, so it's going to have to play a lot to catch up. We're going to pass here. His Blue Boy Lugos is going to keep taking damage too throughout the round. And 2 of his Priestess of Freya are gone. He's going to have to lose a lot of card advantage here.
No one else dares face me.
To actually take this round. Which will be card advantage in this game's really important.
By the rates of Morhog.
Oh, okay, he's going to play that guy. Don't think... Nope, still not going to be enough because that would just tie us. Yeah, he's gonna... That pretty much guarantees us the win now because he had to use so many cards to catch up. He only has 2 cards left and no leader ability. We're 4 cards ahead. There's no way he wins this now. So it was worth losing round 1 because now we pretty much got the next 2 rounds guaranteed. And he only has 1 more Priestess of Freya to revive that card. Oh, there's the forfeit. Alright. Alright, here we go into the second game. Looks like we're facing Ethne. Not sure what deck runs Ethne. It might be another attempt at Tremors. Alright, let's see. Oh, this hand is looking alright. We got the White Frost, 2 Wild Hunt Hounds. I mean, we'll actually probably keep this because, yeah. We'll keep this hand, not even mulligan a card. I really like this hand. We got enough Frost, we got only 1 of our Wild Hunt Warriors, so we could spawn out a Wild Hunt Navigator with our leader. And pull the other Wild Hunt Warrior from our deck. Problem is, no turn 1 play. We got plenty of movement cards. So I'll probably just start off with a White Frost. Or Biting Frost. Even though he has nothing out, whatever he plays I can drag up to that row with my Drowner. Use Dorngary to get a Drowner. Or move 3 people with Jotun. And if he plays a Sage, I want to drag it anyway to get the bonus damage. Because those things will start boosting. Oh, yep,
Not
Sage.
afraid.
There's the Sage. Well, we're gonna Drown her, move that Sage up to the front row, do 4 damage to it, knock it down to a 6. Then we can kill it off with the Triss Marigold. If he doesn't boost it. Oh, he's gonna use Summoning Circle to pull it back out. Alright, well. Thinking if I should Doran Gary out a Drowner. Yeah, I'll Doran Gary out a Drowner. Just kill it off. Seems like he's kind of counting on that card now. So, there we go. That takes care of one of his sages. Do not want to commit too much to weather to this deck because they usually run Clear Skies. So I'm not going to use this White Frost if I don't have to. Oh, looks like he grabbed a Gwent sign with that. So, go with another Wild Hunt Hound. Play Biting Frost on that row. Now I'm not using this White Frost at all this round. If he clears skies, I'm just gonna play I'll play the White Frost now. Keep us ahead. And get to reapply to rows that he actually has creatures on. Maybe get him to use another Clear Skies. Oh, nope. Played another Sage. Actually move it to this bottom row with our Jotun, I think. Because you want to keep killing those sages off. You can't let them get those sages. Now his sage is in the frost, so we can kill it with Imlerith. We are pretty far ahead. He has a Marigolds in his hand, it seems, because he was just counting our row. His Marigolds would do 14 damage. Because they're all odd number cards. Just use the Wild Hunt Warrior to kill off that Sage if he doesn't boost it this turn. Nope, he's gonna pass. Alright, we got round one. Took care of two of his Sages. And there's a Morvid. That'll actually take care of his other Sage. Well, this hand, I'll just throw back Draw. Got the Iris. And I do have a way to pop her. I just don't have 5 creatures in my hand yet. I do have a way to play 5 though. May just pass here. Get my card advantage back. No sense trying to fight out round 1. I mean this round. This will let us have final say. And make our Iris probably pretty good because we're going to have 5 creatures out in the last round. We still have our Marigold Tailstorm. Oh, there's one of those night cards. That's good. That's good to be gone. That card can be pretty annoying and get pretty strong. Alright, we're going to hold on to this Arc Griffin. Because sometimes this deck does actually run weather cards. So, having a way to clear it, pretty helpful. At least from one row.
You should be.
Alright, there's his Sage. Well, we're going to use Eredin to spawn out a Frost Hound and apply Frost to that row. Because we do not want those cards out.
There
We
will
can
be
help
no
it.
negotiation.
Might actually Clear Skies it. Yeah, he's going to use up a first light. He really wants to keep that alive. So we're just going to work that much harder to kill it. We're going to play Triss Marigold.
I sense strong magic.
Do 5 damage to it. So even if he boosts it, we can still kill it off with our Wild Hunt Warrior. And get the boost off it from that. Could have used my Morvid to lock it, but I want to use my Morvid to get rid of one of those Quensign shields. Those elf guys that you saw him play earlier. Because he probably has 2 more of them in his hand. Oh, there's the Royal Decree. And looks like he's resurrecting a spell from our graveyard, probably White Frost. Well, we'll use Arc Griffin. Clear the weather from that side, and we'll steal... Not really gonna matter, so... We'll just steal a Farseer. Not like we can resurrect it or anything, and that leaves our bottom and top row safe. I didn't use the Wild Hunt Warrior this turn because... Yeah, I wanted to clear that weather out to stop the damage from that weather as much as I could. Oh, there's Elzur's Thunder. We're gonna play our Wild Hunt Warrior. Kill that off. And boost him up. Then we'll play out the Iris. And kill it off with our Emlerith. Unless he locks it, because he might still have his lock card in his hand, so we can actually use our Morvid. Cancel that out. Looks like we're only going to be able to boost
We've met.
4 things with this. Maybe 5. If he locks it, then we'll get to boost 5, because I'll Morvid and then Imlerith. Might even only be 3, because I mean he just needs to kill off another card. Oh, he just lacerated himself to activate it now. That's fine. That works for me. Because he would have got more value out of that lacerate if he actually played it on us. Play this Imlerith. Do 4 damage to that card. This puts us 26 points ahead. I don't see us losing at this point. Even if those are 2 of those Elf Guardians that get boosted whenever you play a spell. He might have a Marigolds. I mean... Oh, looks like he's searching for a spell in his deck. Saving Marigolds for my last play. Yeah, there's the Marigolds. Well, we have a Marigolds too, so I mean... Might not even need it. We're gonna Morvid that, damage it by half. There's the last wish. It definitely is his last wish. To hopefully get something. Nope, not enough. Well, there's game 2. I mean, that was a good deck to fight against. Show you how this deck works. So, I mean, the deck's working out pretty well, especially for a budget deck, but we'll get in the next game now. Alright, game 3. It's like a mill deck. Mill decks are pretty tricky to deal with. One of your best bets of beating them is not playing any of your deck thinning cards against them. We're going to get rid of these Biting Frost, though. We do not want them in our starting hand. And might actually keep the rest. I might actually throw 1 Wild Hunt Hound back. Because we already got, because we already got the White Frost. This is a mill deck, so I do not want to have myself draw that many cards if I can help it.
No passage.
We're gonna start off with the Wild Hunt Hound. Play Frost in that row. Probably gonna Avalok. Nope. Just gonna boost it up. We'll actually Drowner that. into our Frost so he doesn't keep getting value out of that card. If we can manage to kill it off, that is. Oh, there's a second one. Alright. Since I played my Frost in the middle row, I don't want to play this White Frost. I might lock one of those. There's not much in this deck that's worth locking when you're fighting against this deck. So I'll lock the one that I'm not going to damage anyway. And hope for the best. He's probably going to start playing his Avalock here soon. Alright, there's one of our Drowners. Trying to think of a way to kill off his Avalock. Don't want a Jotun yet. Or throw Iris over, because I do not have enough cards out for Iris yet. May just go with a Triss Marigold for now, until he plays off another card. We'll actually do 5 damage to that. Oh, looks like he's going to decoy it. That does take out one of his Avalocks. At least one of the Avalocks they would have decoyed. Pretty nice for us. There's Biting Frost, so we're going to play that on the back row. He might not have gotten his Avalock. If he didn't get his Avalock, we have a good chance of winning. Alright, well there's that. It's a 10 power, that's not too bad. I could take this round now with the Iris, because then he'd probably pass. But if he passes now, he's probably going to see his Avalock in the next round. I'm just going to play her out. Try to take this first round at least.
I don't recall.
See if he passes here.
Sometimes
Oh no, he's going to lock it? Alright. Which we do not have a Morvid anymore, so we cannot unlock it. Could Jotun. Yeah, I'll actually Jotun. Knock these 3 into the back row. Do 3 damage to him. That'll put us back in the lead at least. Do not want to thin out my deck at all. Alright, he's gonna boost that up to 10 again. And yeah, we'll just move that to the back row again with our Drowner. Because if we keep stacking this back row, our Marigold is going to be stronger if we have to actually play that card.
Sure, no problem.
Oh, he's going to play an Eskel. Well, we'll just go with our Arc Griffin. And we'll move this Nilfgaardian Standard Bearer into our graveyard. Oh, is he actually gonna...
one punishment for traitors.
Yeah, he's gonna use his leader ability. That's 2 times that he can't play his Avalock. So we actually have a pretty good chance now. Magni Division, this is gonna let us draw a copy of our top bronze card. He's gonna put that card back in his hand, alright. Probably just Wild Hunt Hound here. Get the Frost going on all 3 rows. We'll probably pass here now. Because he can't fight with our frost. Yep, there's the pass. We have a decent chance of beating this deck now because he has no Avalok. Well, even if he has his Avalok, which he might by now, he can't really abuse it as much because he used 2 of his return cards to his hand. We're going to throw back a Wild Hunt Hound because we have no more Frost, so anything would be better. There's the Drowner. I'm going to pass here. Get a little bit more card advantage. Gonna have to play something. Looks like it's a Cow Tosser. That's a decent card to see gone. And we're 1 card ahead in the final round, and as long as he doesn't deck us out, we got this, I'm sure. Alright, Wild Hunt Warrior. We'll keep this hand. He got some decent options with this, and he has to go first.
At last.
Looks like he's going to play the Avalok. Here we go with him trying to deck us out. Well, we got all our gold, so our Royal Decree is now useless. Let's just go with Geralt for now.
Damn it.
Because we already know he's going to return that Avalok to his hand.
My powers are yours to command.
Alright, looks like he didn't do it yet. Now we can White Frost. Actually start doing some damage there.
It came in me.
Oh, there's that. I'm gonna move that to the middle row with our Drowner. Get some damage off on it. Try to kill that off. There's the Magni Division. Ooh, Wild Frost Hound. Okay. Well, we'll probably just Wild Hunt Warrior. No, well, Emerald should have done this before. This is what you want to do. If you have any chance of killing off that Avalok with something like Imlerith, yeah, do it while it's gold. Before he locks it.
Hop to it.
Now he can't
Snakes.
return to his hand. There's his Swears. Now he's going to start stacking on that top row, which is actually pretty nice for us. We do still have both of those in our deck. Because we have Marigolds, so...
Resistance is futile.
Since he stacks in that top row, our Marigold is going to be even stronger. Oh, there's a Rot Tosser. Well, we're going to play out a Wild Hunt Hound, because we have no more Frost to grab with it. We'll just use it to protect ourselves from that cow. Because this cow destroys the lowest unit on that row after 2 turns.
How did that incantation go?
There goes my camera, but we still got this. We're going to play
I do not mince words.
Dorngary, spawn ourselves a Drowner. Move Swears to the middle row. Do 4 damage to it. Alright, Cow's gonna burn one of our cards. He probably is gonna play Igni.
That was actually rather impressive.
Oh, no, he's passing. He knows he doesn't got it. And I'll say thanks
Thank you.
because he
That was very
said
kind.
a nice thing to us and wasn't using the emotes to be a dick. Alright. But that's the end of game 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. And see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.